Hello and welcome to Infamous MCP. This is Brandon, or Mutilus on Discord.
This is Parker, go by One Who Parks on Discord.
And this is Aaron, I go by Treffinwood on Discord.
Welcome back. As always, links in the show notes. And as normal, but not recently normal, no news.
Yep.
I believe it is the mission pack that comes out Friday, technically, right? The new Crisis pack.
Does that come with the big guy, right?
That's what Gladiator, yeah.
So he will be delayed. Yeah,
is that news?
Okay, fine. I guess there's news. Yeah, if you wanted your March release, you're not getting a March release.
Oh, I didn't hear that. My rep did not call me.
Well, you need a new rep.
Apparently. Come on, Julia.
So the print to play will be available when it was supposed to have been released, but the physical products won't be in hands until next month.
I am now just confirming the date. They even took Gladiator out of the release date. Yeah, did they actually just move it to the correct day now? Yeah, it's just taken out of the release cycle. Oh, hold on. Yeah, Guardians and Inhuman Royal Court are still slated for March 28th. Oh, and Gladiator is March 28th now. So maybe they just pushed it back 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I hadn't heard that, so we will not be having those on Friday. Cool. So that means that they'll be out the same day as Adepticon, basically. Do you think that will affect the Adepticon legality of missions at all? Probably not. Print to play will still be out.
You're never gonna guess it. Hold on to your fucking chair.
Are there diverging
conflicting
by
reports by AMG personnel?
Nice.
Oh my
That's my favorite kind of AMG reports.
So we don't know what missions will be legal right now.
God, that sounds amazing. I mean, to be fair, they've said it both ways multiple times, and so depending on what you found on Google Faster, you will think a different thing. Oh boy. So my big question then is not necessarily about the mission packs. I assume the mission pack's going to end up being legal with print to play being allowed and all that. Is Gladiator going to be legal?
Should not be.
What if I got... Well, I mean, if I play on a tournament on the 28th, why would he not be legal?
What's his official release date?
The 28th. It's on AMG, Asmo Day's website.
Then yes, absolutely. I mean, if the company is the one, right? There is no TO. It is AMG putting it on, right?
AMG is hosting the event, to my knowledge.
Then I don't know how you could. Okay, I know how you could, right? And in fact, they probably should, but whatever. Absent other guidance, street legal date.
Yeah, like if somebody got a hold of something early, they wouldn't be allowed to play it either. So, like, the date is the date. If you don't have the model, that's not my fault. It would be. I assume that would be their stance.
Okay, so let me retract my statement just a little bit. The missions aren't being updated for the timelines format.
Cool.
So the Champions event will have new missions, and Champions will have the old missions. Yes, or timelines will have the old missions. Yeah.
Just when I thought my desire to play timelines could never go down, I have discovered a new low. Okay. So it sounds like the whole Adepticon situation is kind of up in the air, and I didn't realize that was the case. Fun.
No, I just cleared it up for you. It's not up there anymore.
Oh, okay.
Clear to me.
It's super clear. I definitely know what's happening, and I'm not confused at all. I'll just check the internet tomorrow to get more confusion. Downloading confusion directly to my brain. All right. So, Parker, you're going to play MCP at Adepticon.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, I tried to play a little bit of MCP and record Judgment games. That did not go super well, mostly due to my sprinting from the room.
I think it went amazingly well.
I think it went surprisingly well, considering. My favorite moment of the entire weekend might have been me sprinting to my table, and as I get within line of sight of my table, because it's a good quarter mile, like it's not close. And so I'm running back after resetting cameras in the Judgment Hall. I'm running back to MCP. And I look at our table, and because me and Kenny are playing in the team event, and Kenny's like waving me to the table. I'm like, oh shit. I run back, and he's like, hurry up! I'm like, so I'm running, get to the table, out of breath, and he's like, someone attacked Ant-Man. I went, stop! So he size changes onto a dumpster and then gets lifesavered out of range behind the dumpster. And it's like, fuck you guys. And he's like, we waited for this. I can't believe we waited for this. It was great. And that was the day I turned Kenny into a believer of Ant-Man.
You don't have to work very hard. All you have to do is put him down on the table, and all of a sudden,
Put Ant-Man down and know how to play him. That's all you gotta do. He's very fun.
Ant-Man's the man.
In my game recently against Quentin, he staggered my Ant-Man, and he still crossed the D's and dazed a character. It was great. He's like, how is this possible? I was like, well, first off, anything is possible through Ant-Man, so we got that down. It was great.
I understand that reference.
I do. It was great. Yeah, Ant-Man is, I think the most wrong I've ever been about a model was Ant-Man. Mm-hmm. The second most wrong I've ever been about a model is Black Panther. But to be fair, I hate the Black Panther character so much that I didn't give him a fair chance. Mm-hmm. That's my justification there. So Parker, what are you playing at this year's Adepticons?
I am whelmed right now about my Elsa list, and so I do not know if I'm going to bring it. I was so sure I was going to bring it, and then I brought it to the tournament. And it's not that I don't like Elsa, the character. I think she's a lot of fun, but I expected the leadership to do a lot, and it's very interesting. To be fair, I got second place at the tournament. It has done just fine. It has not been losing. But it is the most non-leadership that I've played in a while.
I mean, Parker, to be fair, if you got second place, the list has been losing by objective facts.
Yeah, at least once.
Okay.
So
did you lose a tiebreaker and you guys went to a draw or something?
No, Aaron beat me
I'm just kidding.
Fair and square. So, I don't know if it was fair necessarily. He was playing scenario.
I mean, Aaron beats people fair and hexagonals. Too.
Yeah, Aaron beats people. He goes, I'm just going to play the scenario. What are you playing? MCP? Ah, fuck that. I'll just play the scenario.
Yeah, gross. Have you ever heard of these things called win cons? I do those.
Yeah, I just play these. And so yeah, I wanted the Elsa leadership to do something in particular, and it's strange if you just took Elsa out of the list I was playing and put in any other 4-point model and just played it, I don't think the outcomes of any of the games would have been different.
Like Blade.
Yeah, it could have been Blade, I guess, for Midnight Suns.
That's the other 4-point leader.
But here's the thing: even if it was Blade, I don't know if I would have used those leaderships. I don't know if that would have saved the day. Like I just, It was the models I was playing were to take advantage of Elsa Bloodstone, and they should. But
yeah,
as it turns out, spending a power to need one of her effects is actually something that you can't count on. And I thought, I can definitely count on this. Like, it will happen. And it just doesn't happen nearly as much as I thought it would. So maybe it's one of those things that if I just took her out and I just put in Blade, play the same list, I'd be like, I should be. If I did that, I should be playing some other models, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying, there's probably a different list you should bring,
right?
But as just a direct parallel, there's another 4-point leader in faction that has a good leadership.
Exactly, and so at the same time, would I be really sad because I would look at the situation? I'd be like, oh man, if I just had Elsa instead of Blade, this game would be over, or at least heavily in my favor. So I will say that it's nothing about her leadership is bad. I just think they did a pretty good job of actually making it something that is not super consistent is the word. It's just not very consistent. I'm used to Captain America where I'm using it at least 7 times around, right? I'm always using Captain America. Unless you one-shotted my character or something. Even if you did, I'm probably using his leadership at least 2 or 3 times per model every round. And with hers, I was using it once, maybe twice total for my whole list and a whole round. And I was looking for it. Like, I was playing the models to set it up, and it just didn't. Like, the model was already rooted, or it was just dead, or there wasn't any model within 2, and I had a power to spend. Like there was, it just happened. There was just lots of situations where it didn't occur. And I honestly, after staring at it, because this is not the first time I played it at the tournament, I had already worked the kinks out. I'd already figured out like what models were actually going to be able to use the power and which models weren't, and it just didn't. It wasn't nearly as useful as I thought. So Anyway, that made me look at it and go, okay, cool. Elsa is not bad, but I could be playing anything, right? I guess is the point. She doesn't give me anything new in the game.
So how you said her kit was performing fine?
Like she herself, yeah, like she does fine.
Like her 4-point kit.
Yeah. I will tell you that most of her abilities aren't useful, but her just basic attacks are Nuck and Futz. Like slow and incinerate on a basic attack is Nuck and Futz. But her like running gun was useful. I got to use it twice, a couple times, and that was not unuseful. But supernatural senses and Bearer of the Blood Gem just almost never happen.
Yeah. It's just funny how hyped you were for this model. And you're like, she's okay. Her leadership's bad. I'm like, great.
Well, yeah. What I mean is whelming. It's not bad. Like it's not like it's not like Sin, right? Like I was excited to try Sin in a really goofy thing. As it turns out, Sin is actively bad. Like picking her is a bad idea. Elsa is not bad. Like choosing her is not the wrong idea. It's just while I was playing, I was going, I'm not using any of this stuff. Like I have it here, and I'm not using it.
And it's not that you're not utilizing it; it's that it's difficult to utilize because it's so random.
Yeah, there's no opportunity to. Yeah. That's the opportunity.
That's very similar to Sin's kit. I don't think Sin is super behind the curve as far as like what a 3-pointer is potentially worth. She suffers from the concept of like low hit points on the front is always bad compared to high hit points on the like front versus back. And so like MODOK is like he's front loaded and versus being back loaded like Sin is. And then on top of that, her leadership is not. It's not that the effects it generates are bad. It's that they're too random to play around. And so if you like commit in certain situations and it just doesn't trigger, you just get punished for it. And then if it does trigger, it's so rarely at the perfect time to really leverage. And obviously, Elsa's better than that, right? There's no question. But
so I am definitely considering. So haven't gotten to play Elsa, and as much as I love Elsa, and I don't think I'll ever not enjoy playing it, it just didn't. It was, like I said, very, very whelming. I'm considering playing the Hulkbuster list and bringing it to Adepticon because I'm not just memeing. It's a bit of a meme for fun, but I'm not just memeing. I think that list gets so much better with this new scenario packet. I think it actually benefits a lot from the new scenario packet, and so it could be fun to play with the new scenario packet. So I might play a few games with it here in the next couple of weeks and see if I really enjoy it with the new scenarios. I think I will. I think I will be very pleasantly surprised to see what it does.
I think Avengers in general could be pretty well poised to do well. I don't know if Hulkbuster is the way to do it. I think Hulkbuster in a roster is never a bad thing. But if you're doing like a Sam wide build, I think that could be really useful. And then that's how I used to play Sam, is I'd have Hulkbuster as an anchor piece where it's like, hey, I'm going to need somebody to hold the middle for me. It's like, okay, get in there, Hulkbuster.
Yeah. Right now it's definitely it's a wide Avengers with a Hulkbuster, really. The funny Hulkbuster combo is Hulkbuster Supergiant. That's in it because I think it's funny. The Supergiant is not a terrible choice in it all, but it makes me laugh every time I have Hulkbuster Supergiant in the list.
I think, much like we talked about last week, it's kind of sad that I think models like Hulkbuster and Supergiant are losing value due to the new missions.
You think they're losing value? I think Hulkbuster is better with the new missions.
I don't think he is. I think there's way more likely you'll get in the situation where there's just not an enemy within 3. And that almost never used to happen because there's so many E's and, C's and so many centerline missions where it's like, it's so hard to stay out of his like bubble of anger. But if you're like, okay, I'm going to move and hit and run, like that's not worth 6 points. Like there's no world that's worth 6 points.
Oh, no. I was thinking about the new playing things like, sorry, I don't know the names of the new missions. The new sword base style one. Like
sure, if you can get the sword, like I think it's a G, the sword base like close in mission, he could be great there.
But now there are 2 sword bases. Like you can do that works.
But even on sword base, like pushing people off is nice, but because they're pay to flips, like you still have to go flip them. And he's okay at it.
Oh, I think he's the
like
best.
He's better than most. But you have to think of it in regards of, is the 6-point model doing it? Whereas like if you just had 2 3-pointers like that had pushes, you're getting more pay to flips at better timing.
Oh no, I don't
know. I haven't seen it. I think it could work. It definitely isn't bad. I'm curious what the rest of your list is.
I was going to say, what if I have those two? What if I have also some threes that move you?
Well, I meant like, Gwen, but yes, Gwen and Shuri. It's like pushing all your shit. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
this is super frustrating.
Yeah, Gwen is not in it right now, although she could be. Shuri is in it.
Well, I mean, just to get affiliated, you need another 5 points of Avengers, and so you're 11 points in already.
Right.
with
It's usually
Hulkbuster.
I think Cap also is amazing at that mission as well.
Sam is great.
Yeah, Sam.
Regular Cap is probably okay.
No, I meant regular. I meant Sam.
Yeah.
Right now, Sam, Widow, Hulkbuster, then some other pushy threes, and you're just you like ship it. It feels great. I think I enjoy playing the Hulkbuster list. I love saying -1 to your throw damage. It makes me happy inside.
Being able to choose at deployment what your leadership is too is underrated.
Uh-huh.
You're like, oh, you brought all the throwers? Yeah, fuck off.
Exactly. And you're not sad about playing Hulkbuster and Cap together, like in any
they're
way.
fine.
And
they're both good board control people.
Right. And so I really, really enjoy playing this list, and I think I'll play a couple games with these modern scenarios and see if I feel like I'm getting walked over, or there's something about them that doesn't work, something I'm not anticipating. But I think it's actually just better for the list.
I think in the new meta, taking a 6-pointer is a very big decision. And it has to be very integral to your game plan to do it. But if Hulkbuster, let's say this, if Hulkbuster is at a point in the meta where he's not playable, I think the game is in a scary place. I think Hulkbuster is a great kit and that is hugely underrated.
I think he's highly playable. And I think, and you said your point earlier, the move, shoot, like with hit and run or something, or move, shoot, move, maybe that's not good enough. I don't know. I think, in certain situations it might be, but I love that I can take out in the old setup. I feel like I had to play a D. I feel like a D was important to have, and now I don't have to play a D anymore. I can play 2 Gs and probably like Scoundrels or something, like just play one more thing, and that feels great.
He might also excel at Wedding Party. The new Mayor Fisk mission.
I considered that.
Basically denies any ability for your opponent to contest yours. Yeah. Assuming that you don't get caught out with bad activation timing.
Every model in the game that can push 2 and sit on it is a huge premium, right?
Yeah,
because that means
he's also really good at getting to the enemy point to contest it.
Exactly. I think he could play that one really well. It's possible. And if you send a bunch of other 3s and 2s at the other one, that's you might score 4 multiple times, and then they can't do anything about it.
Yeah. I've also used Helios Laser on Hulkbuster in the past just to trigger hit and run.
I have
no one's in range 3. I'm like, I guess I'll Helios in range 5 and then hit and run forward.
I have absolutely done that, and it always surprises people, and it feels
because they just I'm out of 3, you're screwed. They're like, nope, missiles.
No, I have a laser beam from space, and now I hit and run. And like, oh, fuck.
But the laser beam from space is only range 5. Remember that?
Yeah.
I know it's shooting from space, but hear me out. Range 5.
Yeah. He also plays hammers really well. He plays a lot of the centerline extracts really well. I wonder what red I definitely keep in Worthy. You definitely keep in probably is Paranoia good? What are the reds he plays?
Paranoia is no longer available, but
it's gone.
Paranoia's not in the list anymore? Did I miss that? I wish there was an easy way to do this at Jarvis.
I think the one that I don't know. I know on MCPDB you can just search 2025 and it'll show it. But I think that he could be good on the one that slows and poisons you, because him moving short is faster than you moving short because he's on a large base, which makes his control more effective. And also, him getting poisoned is less of a big deal because he already generates 2, and he actually generates a lot of power. He just won't get to use his meteor punches often.
Interesting. I don't know how much I like that, but I see your point.
It's going to punish them more than it's going to punish you, because if you push 2 of their people and hit and run away, it's what do? They're speed short. They can't get to you. And so if you're playing the attrition game, that's great. And if they move you to speed slow, you're still faster than any other model at speed slow.
Oh, I think Scientific Samples actually goes in. Because, absolutely, Scientific Samples goes in. Because you can you can more easily deny them both of their models within 2 because you're pushing them all the time.
Oh,
and,
sure. Yeah.
And you will likely have it. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Terrigen canisters is interesting.
I would like to see somebody build a Nick Fury list, not like a shield list, but specifically just a Nick Fury list to take advantage of all the D extracts at this point. And she's like, I'm just going to take both the extracts. Fuck you. And just see if you build a list that keeps them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm staring at this. So I have worthy scientific samples, and you think it's... I don't know.
After that, let's see.
Maybe Terrigen canisters and just ship it and call it. I don't know if it's good, but...
It would be worth testing at least before Adepticon. I would definitely try it.
Aaron, do you think Terrigen canisters would work well in a Avengers Sam Hulkbuster crossover? What does Terrigen canisters need to succeed?
I don't know. That's the biggest question mark I have.
How about this, Parker? What lists do you struggle against? Like, of your list, what are you going to lose to? What is a bad matchup? Is it high-scoring teams? Because you're not really killing the high-scoring teams fast enough. You have enough board control to slow them down a bit, but I think they're still going to win in the long run. So I would probably focus on low-scoring missions if that's the what's left. So like Royal Wedding, for example, it's a Bravo deployment basically, but at least you get 2 of them and you can deny them the 2, assuming they're not going to cross the table to get yours. And if they do, then you just send Hulkbuster to their side.
He can also...
They're definitely not going to kill Hulkbuster anytime soon.
He can also pick it up and shoot in the midline and turn 1, 2, and things like that. That's interesting.
That is correct, but he wouldn't be able to hit and run. And there's probably not going to be that many people on the midline on this mission, because there's not that many blues on the midline.
Yeah. I really like when Hulkbuster can easily pick up something and still contribute. That would help. That would let them do that. That makes sense. Also, is there I was looking to see if there's not really a... I thought they added one that's a D deployment, like, or has the... I thought they added... No, maybe I'm crazy. I thought they added a D deployment that was an extract, but it looks like they did not.
They did. It's Unexpected Guess. That's why I just told... Or no, not Unexpected Guess. It's shit, what's it called? I just looked at it.
Yeah, Royal Wedding is which is
Samples. The one you're already playing.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to try... I don't know if I like canisters.
Yeah, with it being a 5 scoring, that's kind of rough.
It seems really volatile.
I would probably try Unexpected Guess first, which is the similar to a Bravo.
Yeah, we'll try that first, see how it goes.
And that's the extra 0.1, isn't it? No, this is the one you're pushed short if you're not contesting.
Yeah.
And so that's more board control to line up with the rest of your guys.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
All right, so it gives you an 18 threat, a 17 threat, and a... What was samples?
18, 17, 17, 15, 20, 19. Wait, no, sword is gone, right?
Sword?
Oh, is sword gone?
I never checked. I don't see it. Yeah, I think it's gone.
Oh.
So it just replaces sword base.
Imcron just replaced sword base. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a better mission.
It is, for sure.
Yeah. Do a Deadline.
Yeah, I think Deadline for him would be equally strong.
Yeah. If you're planning on playing Hulkbuster, I think Deadline would be great.
Yeah. Yeah. This is going to be a ton of fun. No matter what happens, it's going to be a ton of fun.
Have you considered Wedding Party targeted? What are your other blues?
As
soon as you said 15, I'm like, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, that's exactly why I said it. That was exactly what I thought after I said it. Right now it's Imcron. I really like Imcron. I think Deadline Destruction is a good choice. The last one is Scoundrels, and that's just because there's the reason why is there's so much pushing in my list. The chances of them scoring are high. I think Wedding Party might just be better though. I should try it. I'm going to test it instead of Scoundrels.
I think you should test both. I would actually leave out Imcron Crystal because you already know you want that one, and I would try a few days of Scoundrels and Wedding Party to try and get games with both. Mm-hmm. And if your opponent's okay with it, I would just try Scoundrels and Wedding Party.
Yeah. This sounds
and so you need to figure out, well, really, you just need to figure out if Wedding Party's any good. Because I think Scoundrels works. It's just, do you lose to webs, basically? Or criminals. But I don't think anybody's really playing criminals.
Here's a hot take. I think Crimson. So Crimson Dynamo was originally in this list, specifically to if I had to just like fight down the middle with a bunch of guys. I don't think that'll happen anymore. I think Crimson Dynamo is not the splashable model he used to be, because I don't think you're going to see a lot
I
of
think we
mosh
talked
pits
about that
anymore.
last week.
What's that?
The only one that might even work is Scoundrels.
Like you'll ever see a mosh pit is Scoundrels? Yeah.
Yeah, because I think with Scoundrels, you can kind of just cheat forward with him a bit and cover basically 3 of the points, and then force them to deal with him. And in like a Sam list, it's really hard to get his ass off the table.
Right.
Especially if you got like Wong in the back. He's so annoying to kill.
Aaron,
God.
Do you play Crimson Dynamo now? I haven't played a game that I was like, oh man, Crimson Dynamo would have been great right here.
I think there is still a reason to play Crimson Dynamo. He's not hot dog shit.
Okay.
I was gonna let you finish. I was gonna jump in.
Oh, well, you shouldn't raise your hand and interrupt me.
I was just saying I have something.
Okay. I don't think he is as ubiquitous an answer as he was before. But I think there are still plenty of times, like even thinking back to our game, Parker, like we had 2 very condensed fights going on 2 separate parts of the board. You can't tell me that Crimson Dynamo would not have been hugely impactful in either of those. I'm not saying he would have been better than the models you had, but despite the fact that the ease went away, there will still be fights of multiple models fighting multiple models. So I don't think he's a wrong inclusion in any list. Okay, Brandon, what do you have to say?
I agree with everything you said. I was going to point out that actually after playing Deadline, I think he actually has gas there, because the points are just close enough together that he can kind of cheat and cover 3 of them. It's not a complete lockdown like the E's were, but if you put him just kind of off to one side of the middle, he's basically covering your back point, their back point, and one of the points on the side. And then the other point's too far away, but who cares? Because you got 3 of the blues.
I've played a couple Deadlines. That seems.
I mean, it doesn't
far.
cover the objectives, but it covers where models would be standing to attack models on said objectives. Right? Does that make sense? If they're shooting your model on the back D, they're under his bubble.
But it's within 3. I don't know. Like the enemy has to be within 3. I don't know if that's close enough.
Yeah. So you're putting him a little bit past the center line, and just thinking about it, like sure, if they send like Zemo past you, they're gonna get past the bubble. But if they're like, oh, my guy's going to shoot, like my Iron Man's going to shoot your back D, it's like, well, you're under the bubble. And because he's in the middle of the board, basically. And so the only places they can stand to attack are basically outside of the D on the far side, like to the center line. They're to the way flank. Right. They're shooting back into the bubble. Or if they're meleeing the guy on your back D, is the only way they're going to get to attack your models without being under that bubble. And then one flank you can't cover at all. But you've got a really good coverage in the middle of the board, which I think more often than that will encourage people to move their people out of the bubble to attack you, which is worth it because they're giving up an attack to do so.
I don't know. I feel like I'm just going to...
I don't think you necessarily need to play him. I'm just saying I think he has some gas on that mission.
Yeah. I think there's a model that came out since I built this list is Shang-Chi. I bet Shang-Chi would feel good in this list. He always feels good.
Yeah, you should play broken models. They are good.
Yeah. What if your Shang-Chi took 1 less damage from the froze? That'd be cool.
I don't know that it even matters. It's good, sure. Yeah. Parker, just imagine what if Elsa was actually immune to damage? Just think about it.
What if she was just immune to damage?
Just think about it. What if she was immune to damage?
She would be so
She'd be almost as good as Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I feel like Crimson Dynamo is on the chopping block here. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll pull an Aaron and bring too many models in my list and see if I actually ever choose them.
Do you remember who all is in your list?
Yes. Right now, it is Hulkbuster, Captain Sam, Luke Cage, Quicksilver, Ant-Man. I just made the change to Shang-Chi, Black Widow, Shuri, Supergiant, Hood.
Ugh. Okay.
Hood is also highly cuttable, I think. He was in there because I liked his utility a lot, actually. I still do. I still think there's a reason to play him. Supergiant's non-negotiable because it's fucking hilarious. And Ant-Man's negotiable, I think, because he's so much more of an attrition piece. He doesn't like fit the push at all. Like so Beast, I think would be as good if I wanted an affiliated or just go with some other 3. But Beast is pretty amazing at controlling points too. So, and he happens to be affiliated. I really just don't like Beast. Period. Full stop. I just don't like him.
Unless you're playing with Steve, I don't know that you would ever play him in Avengers.
Yeah.
The thing that surprised me was Quicksilver.
Oh,
and I like Quicksilver.
I love Quicksilver in this list. He's non-negotiable for me. I love him.
Okay. Why don't you tell me why he's non-negotiable for you? You just like long movers, or
long mover is super important. He has a steal. And
okay, so you're playing the steal. Got
I'm
it.
playing the steal, and it's not quite as efficient as Steve, but
I haven't looked at the new ones. How many of them are civilians? We've got.
He cannot steal civilians. He has to steal.
Correct. So we've got senators, scrolls, spider infected.
So right now,
and unexpected guests. There's only 4? Ooh, that's better than I thought.
Yeah. So
yeah, they got rid of. Okay.
So I could, if I wanted to, I could take unexpected guests out. Make sure I'm doing only assets for myself. That'd probably be useful. I don't know what asset I really want.
I mean, the one that I usually go with is Legacy Virus, but I don't know that really helps you. I would have suggested Scrolls, but that's another civilian.
Mm-hmm. Legacy Virus is not a terrible idea.
Inhuman Weapons is an even number, but it's a 1 higher scoring. So I would think Inhuman Weapons would be better than Legacy for you specifically.
Yeah.
Because that way you're guaranteed 2 of the points. Not guaranteed, but you're likely to get 2 of the extracts.
And might get a third if playing Quicksilver.
Right, which means that as long as you're not bleeding extract tokens in the middle of the game, you're not losing any faster than you would normally be losing, but it lets you keep pace better.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll put in that. We'll see how that goes.
Okay. Aaron, do you disagree at all? You think that's sound logic?
Yeah.
So yeah, the ones that are on the chopping block that could be taken out because they're not really going for my scenario. My primary win condition for this is sitting on the points and holding onto enough extracts to win, and making my opponent pay for activations that don't produce anything because their attack throws aren't putting things down at key moments, and I'm doing things like heal and just take too much damage back before they can win, right?
Mm-hmm. Is Hood in there mostly to heal, or is he just like a combat piece?
Yes, I've noticed 2 things. One, the heal is huge, and especially on deep pocket models like Hulkbuster, it feels really ball busting to heal 3. There's also a lot of other like just difficult to kill models like Luke Cage, Shang-Chi, Black Widow. Even healing them 3 just is so devastating, I think. He also can take advantage of Hulkbuster because of his ability. He's the only model that can count blinks on dodge rolls that I know of. And so, like, I actually do block a lot. And I think when people throw at him and he lives, it's hilarious. Again, he's one of those models that'll surprise you and make you spend too much time trying to kill my list while I'm pushing you around and winning.
Yeah. I mean, he's practically immune to throws on his backside, right? Or when he's in Demon
Exactly.
Form.
So on his front side,
like DR3.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck off.
Exactly. That's it. So
it's like, I throw this size 4, I take 1. And you're like, what?
Exactly.
Fuck you.
So Hood is actually, he also on his backside rolls 6 dice. Like, he is surprising.
I agree. I think he is hugely underrated. He is a low tempo piece in the early game, which it drives a lot of people away from him.
Yeah.
So, but I think you're playing for mid game, so he's probably fine.
Yeah.
You just gotta be careful not to let him take chunk damage when he first flips.
The one model that doesn't get put down very often, and it's just because the other models feel so key to the game plan, and he just doesn't feel key, is Ant-Man. And it's not because he's bad. We just talked about it. He is great. He
can't hold extracts.
Yeah, he can't hold extracts, and that feels like a liability a lot of the times because I'm often putting down. I'm windmill slamming Hulkbuster almost every time, right? So if that's happening, then I need the ability to hold on to extracts because my number of extract holders is limited. So Ant-Man feels like a bad choice whenever he's there. For that reason, maybe it should just be like a 2-pointer like Wong.
I think Wong is desperately missing from your list. I don't know how useful Shuri is. Just because you already have Hulkbuster and Sam in almost every game you're playing, you already have like 2 pretty good board manipulators, and Shuri is so static that But I don't know. You've played the list more than I have.
I found she was really, really good at a key thing, which is sitting on one of the back points, holding on one of your back points, because the list gets pretty aggressive and kind of moves forward a lot. To take your opponent's points after you push them, you need anybody to stay on the back point.
And
often,
she can contribute back there.
Yeah. Right. And so that she's doing both. Not only is she pushing models off for you, but then she's camping on that point so people can't just go take yours, which is what some scenario teams will try to do. She feels really good most of the time. All of the blues I'm playing right now are targetable, except for Wedding Party. So I just wouldn't play her on Wedding Party. But like Deadline and Imkron, she can sit on either of them and contribute to another point. So that feels really good.
Yeah, obviously you probably wouldn't want to play her on Wedding Party, but it is kind of a mission she's good at, actually. It's just a weird deployment.
She could. She just couldn't contribute to the other one, right? But she would. Yeah. She would be good at messing with your opponent.
No, I think Shuri's a good model. I just don't know how many of your models you can take that don't do damage before you get diminishing returns. Did you cut Crimson for Shang?
Yeah, I did.
Is that what happened? Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm going to like that more.
Yeah.
The only other one I consider is Black Panther, but he's more push. But I think it's kind of a hat on a hat.
I think just a drop in, I really think you should try Nick Fury as just like a sleeper model on times you win Prio.
Interesting.
Because, I mean, if all your opponent's doing is trying desperately to get the extract tokens back, they're kind of just letting you do whatever you want everywhere else. And maybe the strategy doesn't work, but man, I feel like it does.
If you wanted to stay in Avengers, you would get something similar with the new Black Widow, the Black Widow.
Yeah, but it's really that you have the grunt activation on the first, because it's like you win Prio. If you pull a D, you're just like, cool, I get 2 extracts, and then they're like, oh, well, I'll just try and kill the grunts, and they probably get them dead. But then you're like, cool, Hulkbuster picks up the grunts token, and you're like, oh yeah, like now what?
Yeah,
and you're like, oh yeah, I just go down 3-1 on extracts for free because you had Nick Fury with Prio. And then when you don't have Prio, obviously you don't play Nick Fury, but I feel like that's just such a hard thing to overcome, because back in the day, we counted up, there's only like 4 models in the entire game that could pick up the token with killing the grunt in the same activation. Because if you just don't pick it up right then, they just get it back with another model. And then it's like, well, fuck, now what?
Now that I'm staring at it, for the purpose of this list, maybe the Black Widow is better than Shang-Chi for what I want to do. She's not better than Shang-Chi in a vacuum, but...
Yeah. It's been a while since I read her. Let me refresh.
She's another long mover.
It's long mover. She's got the protected asset thing, martial artist stealth. She's got reroll any number of defense dice, including skulls, for 2 on non-energy attacks. And then she's got shock, stun, and finisher triggers.
Yeah. Shock, stun, and finisher with a medium advance. Deadly Origins is a fucking bonkers attack.
Yeah, it's got advance, medium, after, and then finisher is crazy.
Yeah.
No, shit, I didn't even think about that. She gets to move medium and then finisher.
Yes.
So she gets to attack somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like for what I'm doing in this list, I feel like she might just be better.
She's okay. I can't imagine she's better unless you really, really value the place the objective thing. Is Shang-Chi an Avenger?
Yes.
Okay, that's dumb.
Of course he is.
Why is everyone fucking Avenger? Okay, whatever. Sorry, I forgot Red Skull's an Avenger. I didn't think about it.
Yeah, of course he is. Nick Fury's not, and he absolutely could be.
Nick Fury, not an Avenger.
Yeah.
Shang-Chi, clearly Avenger. Uh-oh, Siri's yelling at me.
Okay, I'm going to try this.
I'd lean towards Shang-Chi, but...
Out of curiosity, let me just think about it. Because you're the one who knows this math in his head, because you've done this a lot more than I have, this mental exercise. If you're playing a bunch of 3s, you need to either have a 4 or a 2, right? That's how it almost always works out to be.
Talk to me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't do that math.
You used to know this. You used to be like, you need a 4 or a 2. You would tell me things after.
Well, that's just basic math. I don't know the pattern. I just do the math. Okay. So if you're trying to play, the problem is you have a 6-pointer that's windmill slammed in your list, and so we'll just consider that 2 3s for
Yes,
the time being.
that's what it
And
is.
so
That's what he
you've
functionally
got
works out to be.
you've got your mandatory 3 plus 2 more 3s. You're at 9. If you're playing 17, there's 8 points left. So break down 8 points however you want: 3 3 2 or 4 4. That's basically it.
Okay.
And so, or 4 2 2, like you can do regular Black Widow Wong and throw in a Shang-Chi, and that's affiliated.
Yeah.
And then you can just combine 2 3s into Hulkbuster.
So that's the big problem with the Black Widow is
Mhm.
you can't play the
It's a
Black
4.
Widow and Black Widow. That's the big problem.
Exactly. That's why I would include her. Beyond, I think Shang-Chi's just better.
Yeah.
Because, like, your plan is for Shang-Chi to not die. Your plan is for Black Widow to die and you place the extract. Like, those are different plans.
No, the plan's not for her to die. Like, I don't want her
But,
to
like,
die.
she's just more killable and does less damage, right?
More killable?
She
With
doesn't
stealth
have
and
martial arts to range
reroll?
3. She doesn't heal herself. She doesn't push people. She doesn't
Shang-Chi
charge.
doesn't heal himself.
He does heal himself.
Really?
Shang-Chi is stupid and
Shang-Chi
dumb.
does not heal him.
It's on
What?
on the backside. He heals himself. 1 point on every attack, I think. Aaron, am I crazy?
Oh my god. I
Yeah,
never
exactly.
saw that before.
He's fucking stupid. You've just never seen Shang-Chi's backside. That's not your fault. Got him. Fucking wrecked.
I did not know that he did that. I didn't know that. I know that I know that he changed his backside, but I never saw that 64F Infinite Palms is different than 5 Elements Fist. I never noticed that.
Yeah.
Okay. Fuck yeah, he's better. God damn it. I don't want him to be, but he is.
Yeah. No, yeah, his kid is just fucking bonkers. You could cut half of it, he'd still be playable.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, then you probably lose 1-3.
So
for
who's your
Wong.
second 4 right now?
I don't have a second 4. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Put in Nick Fury.
Well, then I have to lose something.
Oh, well, what do you have? Cut Shuri.
Cut Shuri? Feels like I'm cutting a child. I probably should cut Supergiant because she's meme as shit.
You should 100%. Oh, I forgot she was. I thought we were kidding about that. Okay, 100% cut Supergiant. She doesn't do anything. What does she do?
She never dies.
She's hard to kill with. She does die because they shoot her with energy attacks.
Yeah, I know.
Welcome to the meta.
So should it be Wong? Shouldn't it be Wong? So I could do 2
should
2s.
Wong as your 2.
Yeah, so that's the list.
Yeah. Well, then you only have 1 4.
Yeah, but that's all you need, right?
How do you get to 17?
Because you said
that just forces you to play 2 2s on every map. My Web's list is fine with that. I don't know if your Avengers list is fine with that.
Oh, I think that.
I think it probably is. You're playing a somewhat board control list, so I think you want to go last. That's fine. It's just, and especially with Sam as the leader potentially, 2 2s is great.
Yeah.
Is how many unaffiliated models do you even have in the list? I think it's only like 3.
Wong, Shuri, Hood. That's it.
Yeah. So you can't even play an unaffiliated roster.
I guess the only other cuttable model, like I said, just because I never ended up taking him, was Ant-Man.
I think Ant-Man's really good.
Okay.
If you're playing a wide list, because you don't need him to hold an extract, and he can either go be a harassing piece that's really good, especially if you're playing Hulkbuster leadership.
Mm-hmm.
He's so hard to kill.
Yes. With
Hulkbuster leadership, because he's spider senses plus DR to throws, and he can place out of line of sight with his reaction, and have stealth. Like, he's really hard to bring down for a 3-pointer.
Yeah. Just
because of his maneuverability and where he's going to be standing the entire game. And so you can either go harass people and punch them and knock them off points and stuff, or you can just like double move, place, contest their back point, which completely throws a wrench into scenario planning. Where it's like, oh yeah, I can just contest any blue on the board I want whenever I want. You're like, oh shit, that's right. And so you just all of a sudden you're never going to go parity on scoring. You're always going to be up.
Right.
Because instead of you going 3-1 most turns, you'll go 3-0 most turns. Because you're just like, I'll just contest the one you have one guy on. And there's nothing you can do about it because I'm 6 or 7 wide.
Yeah, so
the big problem here is you need to cut Hulkbuster.
No, actually come to look at it, and I know I love him, and I made a really good point for him. The problem with Hood right now is there's no more ease. I don't know. There are so many of these models that I love to play if I just had to sit on.
There'll be a lot of turns he has to move, heal, move.
Yeah, that's just so bad.
Depending on the situation, you could do some dynamic abilities like I'm going to charge in, daze someone, heal, move, and that could be cool, but that's very odd. Then not going to happen a lot.
Yeah.
He holds a back point well. I mean, if you want Shuri over him, I think that's fair, And especially having Wong in the roster and you're planning on playing him a fair amount, I think that's kind of takes Hood's value away.
Yeah,
except
I
that you
think this list
having
is,
2 healing bubbles is really nice because you can spread out, obviously.
I think
but
the game and this list has evolved beyond Hood. It makes me a little sad, but I think that's right.
I
So
mean, you could always try it. I don't know. It's possible.
okay, so I have one more slot then. What do we do?
It's Nick Fury.
I know you really want me to do it. Why am I
need-
not excited?
It's just one of these things in my brain. In my brain, it's so obvious and no one does it. So either nobody's tried it or it's bad. But I don't see how it's bad.
I think it's bad, and I think the reason why it's bad. Let me tell you why it's bad. Why I beat Shield anyway. Okay, the book by Parker, is that Nick Fury has that trick. That's it.
No, I
Like,
do think Shield is bad.
No.
The problem
I
is we're taking the best part of Shield, in my opinion, is their bullshit scenario jank and just adding it to every roster. It's just like Gwen. Gwen is good in every roster, and I'm so happy that people don't play her in every roster.
I think Gwen would be better than Nick Fury in this list. I think.
I don't know. Maybe. She is good at holding a back point.
She's good at holding a back point. She's good at manipulating your opponent.
It's still, for me, it's the second 4-pointer that you don't have. And so,
yeah,
if you want to play the 2s all the time, that's fine, but
I can do a second 4-pointer.
Second 4-pointer. I think Nick Fury is worth a try. Just put him in as number 11 for right now, and just see if you ever go, man, this would be the time to try it, and just try it.
I just feel like I'm going to pick up 2 extracts and go, I did it, and that's it. Like,
I mean, I think that means you win.
No, that's the thing is, I wish I had that experience playing against people, but maybe people weren't playing scenario with him. They're trying to attrition and do that, and that's why it's bad.
As soon as he came out, they were always like, well, like when the time to do this was, like, Thanos was everywhere. And so Thanos was like, I just teleport your grunt twice and kill it, and I get a free extract. I'm like, yeah, that sucks. Don't do that. But it's like, I don't know. I think it works. Like, even if they send, like, their Apex model at you, it's like, what? Like, Cable was the big counterpoint for a while, too. It's like, oh, Cable will just one-shot you and then move and pick it up. I'm like, sure, but then Cable's on my side of the board, and I just kill him. And it's like, oh, well, but then it's like, they won't, though. I'm like, I don't know. I think you do.
The issue isn't the grunts, it's Nick Fury.
Well, but in the Shield list, they care about protecting Nick Fury. It's like, for you, it's like, I'm playing Sam. Who cares if Nick Fury dies? Like, he'll die at some point.
He's got your extract. He's also 4 points, and he does really, really good fucking damage if you can manage to not let him die.
Exactly, but, like, they still have to kill me on the midline while doing the rest of their stuff. And if they invest a bunch of resources in getting him dead, like, obviously you wouldn't walk into, like, Namor with the Time Stone and Zemo. Like, that's obviously suicide, but you have to obviously, plan around this stuff.
I mean, so I don't think the concept is wrong. I think you think it's stronger than it actually is. I mean, I had Fury in the list I took last weekend for that same reason. I think the concept is sound. I ended up dropping him 0 times.
Sure. Well, first off, you have to have Prio, pull an even-numbered extract. Specifically, a D is really when it's powerful. And then also have an opponent that isn't going to punish you for it. So, like, there is a cost to it. You give a 10th roster slot. But I think a lot of rosters don't need their 10th slot.
I concur with that.
Obviously, a go-wide Avengers list can utilize their slots pretty well. But
okay, I think I'm not I'm not excited about Nick Fury. I'm not excited about it. And sorry, I'll keep him as 11th one for right now to see if there's ever a reason to play him. But the actual 10th, should it be? I'm uninspired by this choice, but it's probably just correct because of everything about this list, and I don't know why I didn't think about it before. Is Spider-Woman?
Spider-Woman's fine. It gives you a steal for late game. It interrogates really good. Because you like every point's going to be super impactful.
Martial arts stealth, it likes that.
I think she has not aged super well.
Yeah, I think you're right.
She was really strong when she first came out, but now she's kind of very samey with a lot of other models.
I would agree with that.
I think you take any of the 4 threats that start with BLA. C.
Black Panther?
That's one of at least 3.
Black Swan?
There you go.
Don't take Black Swan.
Black Dwarf?
I think he meant Black Widow also, but it's the Black Widow technically. I don't know if he counted that.
Yeah. So Black Dwarf's really the only one that's not. Yeah, not a good pick. The other 3 I think are all stellar models. Do different things, but I mean, Black
No
Panther
blame.
is probably still one of the top 5
Yeah.
models in Avengers. Maybe top 3. I mean,
He's
how are
he's
you
so
leaving him
fucking
out of your list?
he's
the
so
perfect-
fucking dumb. I gotta put him back on the
He's
list.
so
I
dumb.
just
Yeah.
Okay.
every time I play him, I'm just like, well, I'm so glad it was just Black Panther standing here so I could win. Like that's what it is. It's
Yeah,
like
it's just super lame, honestly. It's
Yeah.
just so boring to put the same 3 models down over and over again.
but it is
Black-
it is go ahead.
He is incredibly good.
Black Swan is the ASM of evil. And by that I mean every time you attack Black Swan and you roll a fucking wild and she just turns everything off and you're like, well, fuck me, I guess. I just wasted 4 characters' activations and did 2 damage.
Mm.
And then the Black Widow for reasons you already talked about. So pick one of those 3 or fucking all 3 of them and give them a whirl.
Yeah, one of the reasons that I'll say this right now because I just did this the other day. If I play Black Panther in this list, there's something that's going to happen, which is on turn 2, I'm going to go, why am I playing Steve?
Mm-hmm.
Because I love Black Panther with Steve so much, and as soon as I can't use his pounce for 1 power, I'm going to be like, fuck this shit.
It only matters on the first turn.
I know, but that's the problem. I want it
Mm.
now because that's what I get with
I think
Steve.
you'll realize that when you can't throw shit at Panther, he gets a lot more annoying.
That is true. It will make me make my heart very happy when somebody tries to throw something at him and it does nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the problem with the Black Widow is Black Widow exists, or I would be windmill slamming her in there because I want to see what she does. But Black Widow also exists, so it's hard to play both. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play the Black Widow. I'm doing it, and I'm going to be mad that I can't play both.
Okay, what does Black Widow do better than Black Panther?
Hold
Other than have an alter ego that's already in your squad.
Hold on to extracts. I think
I disagree. I think Panther does better. I think he dies less.
You're right. Well, he doesn't have stealth, so you can't just kill him. But
sure, he has infinite range martial artist, which is slightly better.
Yeah, god damn it. He's just better. I hate that he's just better.
He's just better.
No, I don't hate that he's just better.
She also has no board control, and he literally accidentally board controls on everything he does. Oops, all board control.
Yeah, he's just so dumb. And the only reason why I don't want to play him is because it's not Steve, and that'll upset me. Yeah. But I'll try it without Steve.
I think the first time you heal like 5 damage on him with Sam, and you're like, never mind, this is stupid.
Yeah.
Also, keep in mind, if you are doing something really dumb, and you, that's another thing people forget. If you have Nick Fury with, oh no, because they canceled the grunt thing, right? So you don't get Nick Fury off grunts. Yeah. Oh, that was so stupid before they nerfed Sam. He's like, not only do I get to do this, but at instant speed in the middle of your attack.
Okay, there's one other funny choice in this list. It's very funny. If I want to be goofy, is I could take out Wong and put in Bob. Because that is funny.
No.
Okay.
No.
That's the reason why you do it.
No.
It is funny. But every time you kill Bob, Cap gets to move somebody.
Believe me, I can appreciate that better than anybody.
I know. It's bad. But it is funny.
What you should do is you put in Punisher. Hear me out.
I'm listening. Why Punisher?
And then you put in Ghost Rider, and you just really punish people for killing your guys. That list was so fun.
That is fun.
Yeah, because it was just like, it was Iron Man, Ant-Man, Sam, and then it was Punisher, Ghost Rider was basically every squad, and then you adjust to taste for points. And it was just like, oh cool, you daze someone. It's like, cool, well Ghost Rider moves into range and gains power, and you take damage or crits, and then, Punisher gets a token, and then it's like, then you get Helios. It's like, shit. And then next turn is like, cool, now you're gonna get Ricochet Blast, and you just pick one of their models up off the table with a swarm list, and they're like, well, that isn't cool. And then someone else gets Penance Stare, and somebody else gets Aim Shot, and you're just like, why is everyone dying to these really quality attacks?
Sorry, bro. Fun. All my guys die.
Yeah,
and
all my guys kill stuff, I guess. I don't know. Do your guys not do 10-die attacks? I don't know why you took them.
Yeah. I exclusively do that.
I exclusively take models to kill people. I don't know why you didn't. All right. You feel pretty comfortable with your squad?
Yeah, I got it now. We're good to go.
Got it. You just got rid of all the bad models, put in the good ones.
Yeah,
Wait, let's see. We added Shang-Chi, Black Panther, News at 11.
Yeah.
Shang-Chi, Black Panther, Wong is what we added to your squad.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron, how'd we do?
Passable, but barely.
Passable. Barely passable.
Honestly, I'm glad we talked about this today because I feel like this list needed it needs a crisis
Facelift.
overhaul, and the characters that needed a crisis overhaul. I liked the characters a lot in the previous crisis setup, but I think we figured out the chafe here, the chaff.
I think that was chafing. That's fair.
Yeah, that's true.
Are you guys? Aaron's coming to the store tomorrow, but you're not.
No, I'm probably just coming up on Friday.
Oh, nobody's gonna be there tomorrow. Damn it. Fine, I'll play games by myself. All right. Well, thanks for coming in and joining us, everybody. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed our ramblings of Parker's list. We'll call it a list.
Oh, it's a list.
It's a list. This has been Brandon
and Parker
and Aaron,
and you just listened to The Chafing.
So what are we going to call this thing?
I got it. Okay. Incredible, new, fantastic, astonishing, mighty, original, uncanny, sensational podcast.
I'm just going to put down infamous.